Manga is literature! Welcome everybody back. I found another game on the internet. It's called Doki Doki Literature Club. It's supposed to be a dating simulator, but there's some things that are bothering me when I first start this off. Like, look at this. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit. Why are there warnings for this game? I don't quite understand. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age. Exposure to highly disturbing content. It's a dating sim. How can it have... This game is not suitable for children, for those who are easily disturbed? Can someone tell me how? I'm more... Let's just be honest. Let's give him my name. Let's put me in here. Frosty. There we go. Frosty. Frosty. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it's just the kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, we would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Ha! I overslept again. What part of this is disturbing? But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's so mean, Frosty. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird and I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, but you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Frosty, have you decided on a club to join yet? No. A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you wanted to join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. How very self-reflected. I was talking about how I was worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills for before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world? NEET? You trust me, right? What the hell's a NEET? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look for a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. Alright, still seemingly pretty innocent. Why would you put so many warnings at the beginning of this? The school day is ordinary as ever. After I packed my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello, Sayori! Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw that you were just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me. If it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori? Yeah. There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is a vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in the literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in the literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyways? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's just so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! I guess that's the voice I went with her. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Are you sure this didn't say... Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Frosty, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Our worst escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She also has the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyways, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Frosty. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? Well, you left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just cute as you are. Sayori saddles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is the writing oneself. You must be willing to open your readers to exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. Well, we all sit in silence for a moment. Okay! I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri quizzically look at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Frosty? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back in the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Frosty, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just come for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, now everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting of a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment? Write a poem, bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Frosty, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress a class star like Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel like an anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Frosty, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Not following. With that, the two of us depart the classroom and come our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending my day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right, I'll just need to make this most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. So, it's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member would like. Something good, it might happen. Whoever likes your poem the most. Let's go adventure. Intellectual. Let's see. Are these jumping every time I are they just bouncing around just for whatever reason? Horror. Let's do that. Yay. Because I'm a fan of horror. Fear. Get them jumping. It's a parfait. Suicide. Eternity. Comfort. Unrequited. Judgment. I'm not sure if I'm being judged on these selections. Disarray. Okay, I got more. Doki Doki. There we go. Misfortune? Well, I guess I'm winning the likes of other people's. Secretive. Heartbeat. Unrestrained. Grief. Melancholy. Infallible. Effulgent. Effulgent. I couldn't say words. I can say words after image. And last but not least, we're gonna go with ambient. Thanks for keeping your promise, Frosty. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into the literature when you're not accustomed to it. I know it said dive. Don't judge me. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. At least this and last year too. I don't know if you plan on just to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, we won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in her club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Frosty always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking and cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Frosty can become good friends too. Sayori? Huh? As usual, this Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made this sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you want it. In bed! Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered as sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just here reading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave me, right? Uh-huh. I wanted to read some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have 2 copies of the same book. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyways? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol in front of the cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give away anything. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by those people who escaped from the human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needed to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Frosty? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals on their own philosophy, that's what they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought of the related to protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with their villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again! I'm sorry! Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest in it or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. Stop! I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading this, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I had put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just it's something I'm not very used to. Is reading in company with somebody. I see. Well, just tell me if you end up distracting you or anything. All right. Open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading in a company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading my book from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... fuck you, that's what I mean! Censorship. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up next to Yuri's, then hold my book more between them. Suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. I feel like my left arm's in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn a page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the book left side, and the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm and the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. Glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. I just realized she just glanced over. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assumed she finished reading the page before me, so I turned my bit in my video. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your hand or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Frosty, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's embarrassing for you that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know that you're self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant it's kind of cute. Aha! What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Horror! I've played this for 30 minutes. I'm not feeling any psychological effects or any emotional distress. Who should I show my poem first? Let's just show it to Yuri, because I'm guessing she's going to be our interest. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What I'm getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. No. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off and unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think most of the noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they have tried to make their own style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself or to me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamingly as if a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, this isn't supposed to be a literature. Isn't it supposed to be a literature club? The tendrils of my hair illuminate breath, the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street fight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't even thinking of that at all, but it took you a long time to read. It's because I'm retarded. I'm sorry. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Huh? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Frosty. Really? It must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But you told me I took a long time to read it! But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experience in their work. They usually do more than just tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon would be left with nothing. That's a lot of more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Frosty. Ah, me too. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's everything judging my mediocre writing abilities. And if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems stand up to theirs. It's a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I end up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? It's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem, the desk in one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you just completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try it hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out that nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Frosty did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Frosty liked my poem too, you know. He even told me that he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Frosty appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how would you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would have deliberately gone out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh, is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew in a size bigger as soon as Frosty started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls tore towards me as if just noticed I was standing there. Frosty! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning shouldn't jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Frosty. Wait, there's a reason why I have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way we convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not unnecessarily limiting yourself. It's also a waste. You understand that, right, Frosty? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I ever agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Swear I get stabbed? You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. It's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem serious. I understand, Yuri. Yeah? You're a seriously talented writer. It's not a secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her that how you felt, and this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to walk and clear my head. Sorry, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm gonna do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem out from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit next to her. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated for being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, all right, I believe you. Thanks, Frosty. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. A good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Frosty, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do something tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself in newfound determination. Frosty, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Yay! Sayori beats at me. I almost said beats me. It's truly been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. All right, well, I'm going to call it there since I've been playing for almost an hour and nothing has happened in this at all. that is outside of a regular story-based driven game. It's a graphic game, a graphic novel game, and that's fine. That's fine. It's completely fine. It's a graphic novel dating simulator game. It's fine. That's awesome. And if it's something that you guys want to see me play more of, go ahead and say it in the comment section below. Because I mean, like, I want to know. There is the looming curiosity of why is this marked as a horror game. I don't know yet, but as I said, I played this for an hour. We haven't seen anything crazy outside of two girls fighting over their opinions on each other, and then for some reason dragged my character into the situation. So I just want to know what you guys think. Put your answers in the comment section below. If you guys want to try out this game as well, you can find it in the description section located below as well. You can find a download. It's free. It's free. You can download it on Steam. You can download it on itch.io. There's a bunch of places you can download it on. The artistry's pretty interesting. It's typical of a dating simulator type graphic novel based driven game. But I mean, like, tell me what you guys think. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. You guys have been great. You guys have been awesome. As usual, as always, my friends, stay frosty and game on. The hell's the horror?